Adam Taxon, Midday Report, here in Ormond Beach, Florida. Okay, this one always has a lot of controversy with it, but we gotta recognize what's going on, in my opinion at least, with this Tomi Lahren thing. And I'm not just talking about her because she's attractive and because, well, you're just jealous because you're not having sex with her. Well, no, the point is, there's no reason to follow her, and the left is building her up so that they can discredit her eventually, and to discredit especially conservatism. That's why they're talking about her as the new voice of conservatism. They don't want someone who's as smart as Ben Shapiro being the voice of younger people, because he can argue with them. He can refute their arguments. She's okay. If she were my daughter, I'd be proud of her. She got all A's at a state school. Okay, she wrote her own stuff. I'm talking, by the way, about her recent interview in Playboy. But I really resent the fact that I have to pay attention to her because, well, it's not chivalrous to say this. You're just against her because she's a woman. No, she's playing that card. And no, I don't want her to be the voice of conservatism because it's going to make us look stupid. I read her interview in Playboy, and you know what? It's mundane. It's not terrible. Why does she have to say the BS word and the F word in there all the time? It adds nothing. Sometimes it can be used for comic effect, sometimes effectively, but not in this case. It's a mediocre mind. She worked hard. Okay, she knows the arguments. I agree with her on most of the positions, but she's not the future of conservatism unless it's being built up to discredit. You know who it reminds me of? Another mediocre mind. John McCain. John McCain, the media loved him. They wanted to build him up so they could bring him down during the election when they needed to, and then build him back up to, make conservatives look bad because, he always eats up the media. There's a reason he was at the bottom of his class when he got into the Naval Academy, only because of who his father was. But it reminds me of him, even though Tommy's probably a harder worker and did a lot better in school. She got A's. Nothing against her, but keep in mind why she's on there. She's there because of her looks, and then, at the same time you're saying, oh, they're just attacking me because I'm a strong woman. No, it's not like she did what Lara Logan, who's not a conservative, who said some anti-Israel things, but she earned her credentials as a reporter going into war-torn areas, putting herself at risk, and she really did, pay the price for it. She just graduated, Tomi Lahren just graduated college, got a job because of she's cute, and she's, by the way, not that hot. Women are at their most attractive when they're around her age. What is she, 23? Let's just recognize it for what it is. Oh, God. It's like, you just realize what's going on there. It's being built up to discredit us, and the interview, okay, it's not that well spoken. I've seen her interview by the not exactly stellar mind of Trevor Noah. She didn't really handle that well. She couldn't even answer, despite 4 opportunities, what a black person should do if they wanted to express their discontent. That's it. I don't hate her. I'd love to have her on my show, Backlash, on Shark Nation Radio. But at a certain point, it's like, a minor league baseball player who belongs in the rookie league, putting him up in the major leagues to pitch, and he's going to not do well against the Chicago Cubs. It's just that. Let her grow up, learn more, but frankly, I don't think she's ever going to be that talented, and it's not worth my time. You can see, when you read what she has to say, you can barely make it through that. You can barely make it through it. And, but you're looking at her because she's hot. Well, you know what? Be more honest about it. Go to Hooters. Look at Playboy for the pictures, but stop treating her like she is the voice and that we all have to be deferential to her. That's it. I have no notes here. I'm just expressing myself, and this will probably be expressed much more eloquently when I'm with the smarter than I am, Keith Levenberg, who you should listen to because he's a lot smarter than Tomi Lahren. He's smarter than I am, and he's more eloquent, and he's going to be on Backlash with Shark Nation Radio tonight. Not as cute as Tomi Lahren, by the way. And the pictures. I do have to mention that. The pictures Playboy used on purpose were not particularly flattering. They could have made her look better. They have her looking kind of ridiculous with, like, her shorts all the way up so you almost see her, whatever, between her legs. Obviously, she had underwear on, and that wasn't going to happen. But she looks ridiculous in the boots. Playboy can make girls look really, really good. Or so I'm told. I've never, of course, looked at it myself. But it's it reminds me of this horse's ass from my college class, who now has a big, and I'm saying this because someone from my class is watching here right now, and she knows exactly who I mean. He's a big protest leader, a big politics of protest, associate professor, not professor. And the Crimson did a story on him. And believe me, they used the least flattering picture they could. He was like, in that picture, they could have used 100 different photos. They used that. Photo editors know what they're doing. They made her look not particularly great. And the questions, well, she answered the questions, but the questions they asked probably were designed to not make her look that great. I don't think she's in on it. Or she just doesn't care because she's getting her 15 minutes of fame, and she's putting away some money, probably, too. That's just my thoughts. Tune in later. Keith Levenberg's going to talk to me about a lot of topics, and you should listen to his opinion on things much more than Tomi Lahren, but Keith Levenberg has a real job at a big law firm, and so he's making a lot more money rather than playing this stupid journalistic game, which certainly does not favor straight Jewish males. That's not how you advance. But he's brilliant. He's going to be on with me later. I'm going to have a good show, so tune in at 6 p.m. at Shark Nation Radio. You can hear on the loop right now the podcast from yesterday's show, which was great. All right, thanks for watching.